What up, everybody? It's your boy Magnus coming in with another custom 1/6 review. It's been a long time. This is my first of 2015. And what a piece to come in on, man. I don't even know what to say, man. This music is sinister. It's heroic. It's getting me hyped for a new review. And what a better piece to do than Betomatali and Lupita's Ashley Williams, the Chainsaw Hero from Evil Dead 2. Yes, Evil Dead 2, the 1987 film. Horror classic. And this piece right here is a grail, man. It's the ultimate killer hero. It's Bruce Campbell as Ash Williams from the movie, and what a fantastic piece, man. This is the full package. This is how you do a custom figure right here. And you know, when Betomatali does it, he goes all out. And I'm just here to show you and give you this review and my take on it. And wow, man, I'm overwhelmed just going over everything with this camera. I'm enjoying my new setup. As you can see, is my new desk. Got a little bit of Transformers love in the background because that's my original love. And I might actually be starting to review Transformers on my channel, so look forward to that. But that's not what this is about right here. We are here today to tackle the Chainsaw Hero by Custom Horror Figures. So let me get into the beginning. I will show you the custom certificate that came with it, and then we'll get into all the goodies because there's a lot to cover in this review. As you can see here, it says Evil Dead 2, Ash Williams, 1/6 custom figure. I got number 2 out of 30. This is Betomatali, sculpt and paint, which is Beto, of course. Lou Santos on the costume fabrication, the beautiful outfit. And let's see here, we have Xavier Gomez, or maybe he's pronouncing it Javier, I'm not sure. The Necronomicon text. I guess he helped Beto out with the Necronomicon book. And as you can see here, this is made by Custom Horror Figures by Lou and Betomatali. Nice credit card style plastic, and it's a nice beautiful piece. They started using these around the time when Beetlejuice came out, so check that out. Really cool. And as you can see here, I have a plethora of accessories, so there's a lot to go over. This is actually stuff from Beto's original Evil Dead release, Evil Dead 2 Ash. So I definitely want to show you some differences with the new stuff over here. And as you can see also, I have 2 Ashes in my possession right now. One is going to be going. This was acquired in a trade, and I'm just glad that I have it right now so I can show you some of the accessories up close. I won't have to disassemble my figure. Hopefully I could do this whole review in one take, the way I like to do it. So of course we will start with the figure, and we are going to start from the bottom up, so I will pull that in. We have here the beautifully sculpted boots by Betomatali, sculpted and painted to perfection, of course, weathered very well. Let me lift up these beautiful corduroy pants and show you the rest of the boot. So you can see here, it's fully sculpted all the way around, just like the film, accurate to every detail. Go back and check it out. It's there. It is there. If you know Beto, it's there. Next up, as we come in, we have the, like I said, beautiful corduroy pants, 1/6 scale corduroy, people, and it has the feel. It's the real deal. Of course, they're weathered and cut to just like the film. Check it out. Go back, pause it. All these cuts are there. Beto never misses a detail, and Lupita is just killing the clothing as we had come to expect all the time. Here we have a simple black leather belt, nothing special there. And then we come on to Ash's blue button-down shirt, of course torn to ribbons after all the drama that he's been through in the cabin. Got the slice on the arm right here. I'll come around to the back. You see here's a holster, but we'll just cover that in a sec. All the accurate tears, of course the missing sleeve, and the front tear with the homage to the Enter the Dragon Bruce Lee slice on the body right there, pretty cool. And of course next, Lupita did the, it's just amazingly accurate harness. What am I bugging out for a minute? Of course with all the straps, as you can see here, great material. It's hard to do with this camera. We have the chainsaw pull, the hook, metal, real metal right there, is pointy. Gotta be careful with that. Metal rings, of course. Wouldn't come to spec unless. Of course, here also is the leather strap, so it has a little different parts in it, which is just, of course, again, movie accurate. Go back and check it out. Connected to the shotgun harness. Perfectly done. I might weather that a little bit. It looks a little too clean compared to everything else, but it's a beauty nonetheless. And of course, if you look in the background, I have my harness, not with the shotgun, but with Beto's special edition middle finger of Ash's severed hand, as well as the Kandarian dagger, which I will show in detail soon. Of course, next up we have Ash's boomstick, and this was the sawed-off shotgun that he made with the chainsaw, and it's a beautiful piece. That also has some nice details on it that I will get into. And let me not forget the chainsaw hand. Of course, this is the chainsaw hero, so we need the chainsaw. Ash had severed his hand in the film and later on acquired the chainsaw and attached it to himself, which was just so badass and very memorable. So of course we have the nice details, weathered, oily looking, not bloody because, you know, things changed a lot in the movie from time to time. The blood was black, it was red, it was dry, it was wet. A lot of that crazy shit. And of course, I will definitely get into more detail. I just wanted you to see how the hand connection goes on the body. It fits in perfect. It goes with the plug. Of course, I forgot to mention this body is on the ACI Christian body, and it's the perfect build for Ash. Beto had first originally thought that maybe the TTM-19 would have been the one, but the Christian came out and it's just a little more thin and muscular and not too overbearing. The joints on this body are a little rough. They're tight, so I recommend if you're really going to be posing him a lot to just hit him with the blow dryer so you don't have any cracks or breaks. But overall, the fit is fantastic and it really captures Bruce Campbell's essence in 1/6 scale, and it's perfect to me. This figure right here is just amazing. Next up, I will go to the beautifully painted head sculpt by Betomatali, and this also features Beto's first attempt at the Purge system. That is movable eyeballs. You can actually take apart the face and adjust the eyes, and of course I have my eyes in a more sinister looking expression, like Ash has come to kick ass, and that's the way I like it. But you can definitely change them to any way you like. Have them cross-eyed, looking to the side, whichever way you want. They're fully movable, and I will show that on the additional head that I have right here when I get a chance. Like I said, Beto caught all the details in the paintwork. I'm sorry if my shadow's getting in there. Let me just move Ash around. You can see how the blood looks real wet. It's in the hair. It's movie accurate, and it's really, really beautiful. Let me see if I could turn off one of these lights and maybe you can catch it. Yeah, look at that. It's so beautiful. And I swear, guys, as great as this must look on camera, in person, it's even 100 times better. Yes, even with this HD camera, it seems like the light can just wash out some of the tones. And as beautiful as it is, I'm looking through this lens, it looks even better outside of it. So if you're definitely interested in picking one of these up in the future, you have nothing to worry about. This is the ultimate Ash in 1/6 scale, and I don't think anybody's ever gonna beat it, especially with all the great accessories that come with it. Just amazing, amazing work. I will get to all of that. I want to stationize the camera and put everything up close so you can get everything in detail. But I'll just give you a quick overview. As you can see, I have some scattered pages here. I'll get into all of that as well. A little history on the figure. I'd like to get into that first. When I first met Betomatali on the forum, Ash was the first character that he was offering. And it was the first Bruce Campbell sculpt that I seen that looked really great compared to the old Sideshow ones, and I wanted to build my first custom. He offered the clothing, the chainsaw, the shotgun, even the axe, which is not present in this release, but that's something I could always just pick up later. And so I had that whole set, and I built up an Ash, and you know, I held on to it for a while, and then Beto, of course, updated and went and made a new one. So I had sold my first set to upgrade to his next set, which was amazing at the time. Around that time, we're talking is about circa 2011, the first custom show in California, the 1/6 Expo, and I met Betomatali up there, and I had brought him my pieces because he was going to upgrade me to what was going to become his third Ash, which was another amazing piece. And as that was around the time when it was about to ship, Beto had mentioned me that he had ambitions to do one more Ash, the last Ash, the ultimate Ash, the one with everything, the Chainsaw Hero. And just speaking with him and hearing his passion, I just knew that that was the one I had to wait for. So I sold my new Ash that I had been waiting so long for and waited to get this one. And it was worth it in the end, of course. I actually still had some leftover parts that I had never put in my package that I picked up during Beto's first Ash run, and I'll get into those in a sec, and then I can show you the difference between the new ones. But yes, this is the ultimate Ash. I'm gushing. It doesn't get any better than this. I will never have to sell this to upgrade to another one. You can't convince me that it could be done better. And if it does, I don't even give a shit. This is the one I'm rocking with. So just feel my love, feel my passion for this beautiful, beautiful set. All right, I guess I've kicked it a lot. Maybe what else can I talk about before I get into all these accessories? I know I'm rambling. The Evil Dead movie, a classic in its own right by Sam Raimi. The original I caught on VHS at a friend's house when I was young and thought it was the grossest, most nasty horror movie I'd ever seen. And I couldn't stop talking about it when I went to school and kids didn't want to hear about it, but it was my love. And then about 1987, when the second one came out, I couldn't get to the movies as I was still too young, and I had to wait for the VHS release. And when that came out, you best believe I was one of the first people that had it on reserve at this video store. You know how we did back then. And once I seen the film, I popped it in, and I was bugging out because the whole intro to the film just felt like the first movie, and I was just confused. I was like, didn't we see this already? What happened to him getting flown away at the end? And then it just took some time to soak in that was a redo, a recap of the first film. And when Ash flew through the forest, that's when we kicked into Evil Dead 2 and we seen him become possessed, which is another great sculpt that Beto has done before, but I do not own, was the possessed Ash, and that was fantastic. Check out the Sideshow Freaks, maybe some old threads, you can see it. So yeah, the Evil Dead 2 movie, another classic. It was the first horror movie I seen that could be nasty and still have some comedy in it, and that's what really stuck with me, the comedy, the comedic element. And of course, having the hero be a guy instead of a female most of the time. It was always a female in the 80s, and he actually kicked ass. And the movie actually even had like a fucked up ending, which was something of a first that I had never seen in a film, in a horror film at that. And when they made the sequel to this film, I was blown away because we were going to get to see what happened to Ash being stuck in time, and that was just a whole nother awesome, awesome movie. But that's not what this figure represents. This represents Evil Dead 2, which is kind of circa part 1 and 2 in the same film. So now I'm going to rest the camera down and really get into these accessories. I'm going to move Ash out the way, as you can see there. And of course, let me get into these boxes real quick. Maybe I can pull out enough. So we have the Evil Dead 2 boxes. As you can see here, it says, Kiss Your Nerves Goodbye, Evil Dead 2 Dead by Dawn. Let me zoom in on the text. Custom Horror Figures presents the Ash Williams 1/6 custom figure from the film Evil Dead 2. Costume fabrication by Lou Santos, sculpt and paint Betomatali, designed by Lou and Betomatali. Necronomicon text by Xavier Gomez, made in Mexico, 2014. And of course, we have these two beautiful views. I'm showing you, this is actually the back of the box, and this is the front. And then if you flip them to the sides, you have the Ash Williams, Who's Laughing Now. Of course, that's the line when Ash cut his hand off, his possessed hand. And this is Groovy, of course. I gotta show you that up there. Groovy, when Ash finally kicked on that chainsaw and he was ready to kick some ass. So I'm gonna bring these back, as you can see, and now we will get into all the fantastic accessories, starting with the old set first. I'm gonna move these over here and bring them out. So this is the original possessed hand that Beto did in his first set. As you can see, it's very lightly painted. The stab mark is there. Of course, the meat and bone. Very nice for its time, but of course, Beto has gone far and beyond in his new version. Of course, it's a little smaller, more 1/6 accurate. The color, the painting, the details, fantastic. Maybe I can just Yeah, maybe it's better if I just get into this like that. Let me, so you can see all the detail in the paintwork in the new one compared to the old one. Sorry if I'm blocking that. Let me move these pages out the way. I will explain them in a sec. So yeah, you got, look at the differences. What a couple years will do in terms of artistry. Amazing. The old hand is still fantastic to me, but I will be offering up this whole old set for sale. So watch the Sideshow Freaks later if you're interested, and you can still get a great set in case you couldn't swing the Ultimate Chainsaw Hero. Alright, so that's one hand out the way. Alright, we'll go to the old shotgun, which of course the boomstick is very nicely done, hand sculpted, painted to perfection, but it does not feature a open barrel. You cannot swing this. This is solid, one piece. And now let's compare it to the new one, which now I will put the camera down again. Sorry guys, I'm trying to do something a little different here with this table since I have all the room. Of course, now you can see the new shotgun. You can bend the barrel and you can put some shells in there. Maybe I can see if Beta will make some shells, or maybe I'll find some 1/6 shells online. Just, you'll never see them. It's just to know that they're there. It's, you know, being anal about shit. So yeah, this is the new shotgun, and I think it's a much better piece. As you can see, even in size comparison, the new one is a little bigger, and it's just a lot better. So I'll move that out the way. We got that and that out the way. The harness from the old figure, fantastic. I actually even like this plug a little better. It's a little smaller than the new one, but it's not nothing that would actually make it better. Of course, we have the leather, just like on the new one, and the strap material over here. Simply done. So if you need that, that's going to be part of the set that I'm selling. Next up is the Kandarian Dagger. This is the old version. Let me see if I can focus better on that. Yeah. So there you go. All the detail and the sculpting is there. Beautifully done. And I mean, like I said, this was done probably around 2010. And let's compare it to the new one, which is now a little longer, a little more detailed. As you can see, it has the little bone legs. Let me see if I can put them both in my hand, and then you can get a better shot of that. A little more wet and bloody, a lot more detailed, and you can't go wrong. Can't go wrong either way. But I definitely prefer the new one better, of course, because it's just an improvement. The old one is great. The new one is fantastic. What more can I say? Of course, next up is the Necronomicon. Now, this is the original Necronomicon, which I have a very big fondness for. It was the first time that I've ever seen one where you can actually open the pages, and they're fantastically done, weathered. They feel nasty and old and just ratted out, you know, as you can see here. The actual cover is of a rubber material. It feels very fleshy. It's bendable, and it's classic. The difference between the new one, of course, as you can see, the colors are different. This one's a more brown, and this is like a faded, dirty, brownish gray. And this one also opens with the pages. The pages feel a lot more, a little more tender on this one, which I like, a little more broken in, whereas this one, they're more stiff. And of course, if you notice on the back of this book, we have an ear, where this one we don't. But this is the more movie accurate book. The one with the ear was pretty much based off the Evil Dead, I think, I forgot the name, Anchor Bay, their DVD release. They released a Book of the Dead version of the DVD of Evil Dead. And I think that's what this was based off of. That actually had the ear on the back, but is not part of the film. If you look at the original Necronomicon Evil Dead 2, there was no ear. So we have a nice open book, of course, all the pages. And Beta was even kind enough to include a Necronomicon. I guess this is a chart so you can decipher the book if you want to read some passages, but I'm not looking into bringing back the dead. I'm pretty content with the way the world is right now. It's crazy enough, and we don't need no demons running around, so fuck that. Thank you, Beto, though. It's a very cool addition. Of course, we have another Necronomicon, same as the first, but this one is solid. It's like for holding. If you want to give it to Ash, have him in a position where he's holding it, and you don't want to ruin the rubber on your other book, This is a solid one. It doesn't open. It's just sculpted. It's beautifully painted. It matches up to the other. You can't go wrong either way. And then, of course, lastly is my favorite version of the Necronomicon that Beto included in this, which is the open mouth possessed version that they show like in a claymation clip when they're talking about the Evil Dead. And this one doesn't open, of course, either. It's sculpted, but I love that bug-eyed demonic look, and those teeth, they're nice and sharp. Everything's sculpted, painted. Look at that, so sick. I love it. This is the one that I display. I put the other ones away, and this is the one that stays in the display. Alright, next up was a special fuck you or thank you to everyone. This was the middle finger, Ash's possessed hand, when it crawled around and he tried to kill it, and it gave him the finger, which was hilarious. Another part of the comedy of Evil Dead. As you can see here, perfectly sculpted, bubbly, nasty. Look at all the little nasty little pimples and blood marks and the stabbing. Everything is there. It's fantastic. And as you've seen in my figure, I keep it inside the shotgun holster. It's a little comedic element because the hand kept fucking with everybody in the movie. And this was an extra gift that Beto included. This was not mentioned in the original release, and I really appreciate that he did this. It's a classic and very memorable scene from the film. Next up, we have just some extra hands, ACI Christian hands. I will hold them like that. Just weathered, nothing too special, little light blood stains on them. Just extra hands for posing, nothing too crazy. I will then follow up. Of course, I have the old shotgun holster, which you can connect to the oh my god, I'm forgetting what it was, but you could connect this to the back. I'm bugging out. And I'll get to the last few things that came with the old set, and then we will get to the PERS system. So this was the stub cover. Beto included this in his old set. It's not in the new one, which you really wouldn't need it, but if you wanted to pose Ash before you put the chainsaw on, it's a nice little addition. If you want to make one yourself, just take some white napkin material, a little heavy, and duct tape, and just wrap it around, put it on the figure's hand, and then tape around it, and you'll have your little stub cover, and it's just like a nice little addition. So I'm keeping this for my set. That's not going away. And lastly, which I forgot, I'll get to the chainsaw, but I will definitely want to show you guys the lost pages. This was something also that wasn't included in the new set, but was part of Beto's old Necronomicon. These were the pages that Jake threw down in the cellar when he was having problems with Bobby Joe being murdered, and he was tired of Ash and Annie and just wanted to get rid of everything and fuck with them. So he threw these pages that they needed to, you know, bring forth the demon at the end. He threw them into the basement, and Ash had to go recover them. So this is page 1, which of course shows the Necronomicon getting destroyed. I guess when you say the incantation, damn, I'm messing that up, whatever. Next, of course, would be the portal that was starting to open as you were reciting the words from the book. And then, of course, the king demon that came out through the door, the tree monster. Next up was, I guess this was the portal changing into the entrance into the area, the new, going back in time into the ancient times. And of course, this was the deadite that was flying in the air when Ash arrived to the Knights. And lastly, the prophecy showing the chainsaw hero. If you can catch that, that's Ash right there standing there with the chainsaw up in his hand. And that's what I mean, that this was kind of the similar pose to the Army of Darkness holding the shotgun pose. So these pages are a treasure because they're not around no more. So if you have them, treasure them. They are, you know, not something that you're gonna find every day, and I'm glad I held on to these. They're a classic, and they're definitely a part of my set. They will be in my display for all time. So thank you, Beto, for making these. Next up, I will reach and go to the beautiful chainsaw in detail. As you can see here, we have the black handle. Of course, it's movable. Of course, when he wears it, it's usually in that position right there. The chains, everything is nice and sculpted, beautifully done. Let me just put the hand there. It might just make it a lot easier. Of course, the engine, the wooden handle with the rope. It's not pullable this time. His old one it was, but it was just a gimmick that really didn't need to be included. Of course, real wooden handle and metal handles here. Then we go on to the wristlet that will lock the chainsaw into Ash's hand. Damn, The lighting is crazy. Sorry, guys. Of course, you see the plug hole in there. That's for the hand peg. And this is the other side of the chainsaw. In the bottom, as you can see, it goes all the way in. It's detailed to the point where you even see a little bit of rust on the chain. Just fantastic work. So amazing. And lightweight, so it goes on the character, it stays there on the body. You can pose it, and it's not going to weigh the arm down. This is craftsmanship, true artwork, and I expect nothing less from the horror master Betomatali. So soak that bitch in. Yeah. Let me cut my finger off. Lastly, we are going to get to the purse system, which, as you know, Bruce Campbell is a very... he has a lot of expressions. His face is very cartoonish, and he had a lot of fun making The Evil Dead 2, and you can tell that. So Beto wanted to go the extra mile and give us some movable eyes, so we can make our Ash, you know, look a few different ways, give him a little extra pizzazz, you know, a little more essence to the character. And right here, as you can see, this is the extra head from my other figure. And I will show you how this purse system works. It's very simple. Beto made it where you can just actually pop the head off the body, and just slide the face down. It's that simple. You will turn it around, and you have these two sticks inside, which you can manipulate the eyeballs. I'll just make, I'll just move them around. I don't know how they're gonna look right now, but it's probably gonna be a funny face. See, there we go, cross-eyed Ash. And then when you're done, see there's the plug hole. You would just plug that back in, but first, I would say you slide this back, of course, with the lip of the forehead going inside first, and then you would just slide it in. And there we go, we got Goofy Ash. Definitely not part of the movie, but hilarious nonetheless. And actually, that's not in perfectly. Now you can see as the bloodline matches the hairline, you know you got it right. And there goes Cecilia-eyed Ash. But you get the idea. It's definitely a nice extra, and gives this set I'm speechless. Just makes it fucking awesome. I'm sorry, guys. I am just all over the place. It's been a while since I've done a review, and I want to do you guys proud. And I felt this was the piece to come back on. It's such a fantastic piece, and wow. Thank you, Beto and Lou, for knocking out another fantastic project. I'm looking forward to the next one, which will be the horror combo, Freddy and Jason, Freddy 3 and Jason 4. And as you guys might not know, Jason 4, that's my Friday the 13th. That's my Jason Voorhees. That's the first one I've ever seen, and I think it's still the best Friday the 13th movie to this day, the final chapter. Some people might want to argue and say 3. Some people might want to say 6. I'll say 7 is another favorite one of my looks. But of course, now I'm rambling about Jason. Let's get back to Betomatali and Lupita's custom horror figures. Ash from The Evil Dead 2. Bruce Campbell, Ashley Williams. Soak this bitch in. I've been rambling too long. Sorry I've been gone so long, everyone. I love you, the collecting scene. Big ups to everybody that's still supporting it out there and doing it big. I'll be back with another review shortly, as now I'm enjoying my new setup, and I want to do everyone proud. What we got here? Ash, Evil Dead. Peace.